to be found, we need to rank well in the search engines. We need to be seen in the search engines. And that's where SEO comes in. SEO is search engine optimization. We break SEO down into two parts. It's first the science of applying tried and true techniques to your blog or to your website to increase your blog's visibility in the organic or natural or non-paid search results. But it's also the art of crafting those techniques in a manner that's actually interesting to human visitors and also to search engines. So right here where you see I typed in SEO is dead, the results that come up here, this is what I'm talking about when I'm saying the natural or organic or non-paid search results. You can't pay for these results in Google. So what I'm talking about is the 1 to 10 results that come up, or the results the local results, things like that. So when you look at a search engine results page, ignore the ads at the top and to the right. Those are the paid ads. We're talking about the non-paid right underneath it. And that's the techniques that we want to execute on our blog so that we can rank in those results. And you'll see where I typed the term SEO is dead up there. That term that I typed in, that's what we'll be calling a keyword through the rest of the presentation. And you'll see a lot of bloggers write blog posts about SEO is dead. It's never dead, it's kind of just evolving. So the tactics that we'll be talking about is the evolution of SEO. So why exactly should you stay and listen to me instead of heading over to HTML 101? Here's why. 70 to 80% of users ignore those paid ads on search results. So anyone doing pay-per-click in the room, sorry, Mike. And 75% of those users never even scroll past the first page of Google. So that's why you need to not only work on SEO, but make sure that you're doing your SEO right. If anyone in the room has an online store, companies that blog have 434% more index pages. And what that means is 434% more opportunities to rank in the organic search engine results. 81% of businesses consider their blogs to be an important asset to their business, and the reason above that I just said is an excellent example why. And a study showed that search, so the organic search results, is the #1 driver of traffic to content sites, so sites like blogs. So before you can actually start working on your SEO, you first need to know the terminology. So when I talk about organic, natural, or non-paid search engine results, those all mean the same thing. Like I said, those are those 1 to 10 non-paid results on Google that we're doing all these SEO techniques to rank better in those results. Search engine algorithm, that's a formula that the engineers at Google or Yahoo or Bing create that basically determines where your site or where your blog will be ranked in those organic search results. Search engine spiders, those are the robots that are going out to your site or your blog and all the other websites out there that are taking a look at your site. They're crawling your site to determine where you're going to be ranked. Keywords, a keyword, as I said before, is simply that term, that word or words that you type into Google's search box. And the goal of SEO is to rank for terms that are relevant to what you're blogging about or what you're posting about on your website. H tags are header tags. Those are basically found in the code of your site. They'll display on your site, but they're small pieces of code on your website that kind of give clues to Google for what you should be ranked for, what keywords they should be ranking you for. Meta tags, those are more clues in the code of your site that you do have control over, that you can populate so you could again tell Google what keywords your site should be ranked for. Sitemaps, a sitemap is basically a collection of all the pages on your site organized into one cohesive sitemap that search engines can easily crawl to access all the pages on your site. Anchor text. Anchor text, if you've ever clicked on a link, the words that you clicked on, that's the anchor text. So if, say, you clicked on the words click here to get to another page or to another website, that's anchor text. That's what you clicked on. SEO copy. SEO copy is simply optimizing any content or blog post, any kind of copy, just making it SEO friendly and adding keywords in. That's what we mean by SEO copy. Link building. Link building, basically every link that links to your blog or to your website, that counts as a vote for your website. So the more quality votes that you have, the more quality links that you have pointing to your website, typically the better your site will rank in the organic search engine results. So we want to build those links. And last but not least, web analytics. Web analytics, there are systems like Google Analytics, Yahoo Web Analytics, Omniture, etc. And they basically tell you data on where your traffic is coming from, how long they're staying on your site, what pages they're leaving from, things like that. So our starting line, our foundation of SEO is all in keywords. So the first thing we want to do is do our keyword research. And the goal of our keyword research is to develop a list of about 10 to 15 keywords that are most relevant to our website that we can base all of our other SEO efforts around. So our first one is the Google Keyword Suggestion Tool. This is a free tool and it's right out of Google's mouth, so it tends to be the one that I go to. And I think free is the best thing ever. So that's the URL right there. Some others are semrush.com, which is kind of like a reverse keyword research tool. Instead of typing a keyword phrase into SEMrush, you type your site's domain name or your blog's domain name into SEMrush, and it tells you what keywords your blog or your website is ranked for. And this is great for doing competitive keyword research. You can type your competitors' URL or domain name in there, or their website's URL or domain name, and see what keywords they're ranked for. Another paid keyword research tool is wordtracker.com. There's keyworddiscovery.com. SEO Moz has a keyword research tool inside their Pro Tools. And there's also wordstream.com. So as far as using these tools, with the exception of SEMrush, they all work pretty much the same. You basically just type a keyword phrase into the tool. If there's an exact match option that exists, click that and select closely related keywords if that also exists. So that way you're getting really relevant keywords that are more related to your keyword. So how to choose the right list of keywords. So how to choose the most relevant 10 to 15 keywords that relate to your blog or to your website. Once you type those keywords into Google and into the Google Keyword Suggestion Tool and you see what data comes out, it's going to tell you monthly search volume. So it's going to tell you how many times that keyword phrase is searched for each month. And we really want to choose a moderate search volume, and it depends on your industry. So in one industry, moderate can mean 9,000 searches per month. In another, it can mean 150. So you kind of just have to trial and error, type a few different keywords in there to see what like the moderate is. You don't want to choose the most competitive, you don't want to choose the least, somewhere in the middle. And some keyword research tools will also tell you how competitive the keyword is. If the keyword research tool that you're using does not tell you this, there's a really easy way to find out how competitive a keyword is. Simply type that keyword into Google, into the search box on Google. It'll tell you how many results there are for that keyword. The more results for that keyword, typically the more competitive that keyword is. So again, a moderate competition volume really depends on industry again. So try to strike a balance between how many times the keyword is searched for each month and then how competitive that keyword is. And one of the most important parts of keyword research is relevancy. So no matter how great the keyword seems, it needs to be relevant. So if, say, I'm writing a blog post about running sneakers, I want to choose a keyword like women's running sneakers or men's running sneakers. I'm probably not going to choose the keyword sneakers because that's so general, it doesn't directly relate to my topic. I want a really specific keyword that people do search for but relates to my topic. Oh. Okay, so now once we have that list of 10 to 15 keyword phrases that we'll be working with, we want to choose our blog platform. So a few are, and I'm sure you know, WordPress, Typepad, Blogger, Movable Type, Tumblr. There's many out there. My favorite for SEO is WordPress. You want to choose a domain and hosting. I love the one-click blog installation. I use HostMonster personally with a WordPress blog, and they have a really easy to use one-click WordPress installation. And when you're choosing your domain name, in the old days of SEO, people would choose domain names solely based on keywords. So say I wanted to start a blog all about running sneakers, someone would, in the old days of SEO, choose the keyword runningsneakers.com, and that would be the domain name. A lot of those domains are now taken up, so I want to really choose a memorable domain name. I don't want to think keywords too much. I just want to choose a domain name that people will remember. WordPress also has some really great SEO plugins and social media plugins that can make your life as a blogger so much easier. So some of my favorites for SEO plugins on WordPress: the Platinum SEO Pack, which I use, the All-in-One SEO Pack, WordPress SEO by Yoast, SEO Ultimate, and SEO WordPress. For social media plugins, a few of my favorites: the Floating Social Bar, Get Social, Share This and Add This, Socialize, and then SharePress, and I use SharePress. No, it's for like Twitter and Facebook. So now before you start, writing all your posts and trying to make them SEO friendly, just hold off. We first need to think about the structure of our blog. So you want to really try to get it right from the start. If you're already blogging, it's fine to go back and work on this, but the structure of your blog really needs to be SEO friendly before you even start writing posts. So you want to keep keywords in mind in the following areas, and I'm going to go through each of these. You want to think about the blog title and headline, your static blog pages, your posting schedule, how often you post, your blog categories, your blog post tags, blog post URLs, and meta tags. So for a blog name and headline, now what I mean by a blog name is at the top left corner, top right corner of a lot of blogs, you'll see the name of the blog in big bold letters, or it'll just be a little bit more pronounced than other areas of the blog. This is where you definitely want to insert keywords. So it's fine if your domain name, if you weren't able to get a keyword phrase in there, but if I'm writing that blog about running sneakers, I want running sneakers to be in my blog name and headline. This is a perfect place to add a keyword phrase, and search engines will take notice of this. Static blog pages are pages on your blog, like your About Us page, your Contact Us page, your Media Relations page, things like that. These are the pages that, no matter how often you post on your blog, these pages will stay in the same spot. And these are perfect for SEO. Because search engines, since they are in the same spot, search engines will continue to crawl those and they'll gain more weight over time. So you want to get a little crafty with these pages. You definitely want to insert those keyword phrases from that initial list of keyword phrases that you worked on. You want to put those keywords in the copy for these pages. You want to also think about the names or the titles of the pages that will display in your blog's navigation. So instead of calling it, say, About Us, maybe you want to call it About NEPA Copywriter. Or if I had that running sneakers blog, I would maybe call it About Running Sneakers or Contact Running Sneakers. So get a little creative and try to put those keyword phrases in the title of those pages. So as many of us know who blog, one of the hardest parts about blogging is simply blogging. So it's really important to make sure we do regularly update our blog and regularly post on our blog. And the reason for that is because search engines reward fresh content. The more often you post, the more regular your blog is going to be crawled by search engines. And the more regular your blog is crawled by search engines, typically the higher you'll rank in the search engine results. So no matter what you have to do, if you have to tattoo it to yourself, create a reminder on your phone, whatever, just make sure that you do have a regular posting schedule for your blog. This is not the easiest to do. I struggle with it myself, but try your best to post, say, at least once a week. Creating categories on your blog. It's really tempting to start blogging and start writing and decide to just create your categories as you go along, aligned with the kind of content that you are writing about. But I urge caution. It's much better for SEO to create those categories from the start and to use keyword phrases as your category names. So say that running sneakers blog. If I want to focus on keywords like women's running sneakers and men's running sneakers, I'm probably going to have categories called women's running sneakers, men's running sneakers. And I want to create those from the start so that search engines can crawl them from the start. I may only have a post or two in them right now, but at least they're still gaining weight and they're gaining value from the search engines. And having those categories in place from the start also, I think, kind of makes it a little bit easier to stay on that consistent posting schedule, because we could think like, okay, well, let's write a post about men's running sneakers now, or let's write a post about, hot pink day glow running sneakers. So it kind of just gives you a little bit more like inspiration to write on, since you can see what main topics your blog is focused on. If your blog allows you to include tags for your blog posts, this is a perfect place for keyword phrases. So if I'm writing, a blog post on the running sneakers blog, I'm going to use tags like women's running sneakers, men's running sneakers, pink running sneakers, green running sneakers, whatever is relevant to my post. But just make sure you do make use of blog post tags and you include keywords in those tags. Your blog post URLs. A lot of blog platforms will give you a choice over what URL structure you want for your blog posts. And the two recommended are in the format right here, domainname.com / blog post title, or having your domain name, then the category name, and then the blog post title. You want to try to keep your blog post URLs pretty short and sweet. The reason for that is because the less folders or the less slashes search engines have to crawl through, the easier it is for them to crawl more pages on your blog. And you also want to make sure that only one URL exists for each blog post or each page on your site. Some SEO plugins, especially on WordPress, they'll give you the option for canonical tags, and this is what it means, so that only one version of a page or a post on your blog exists. Otherwise, it could look like you're having duplicate pages on your blog, and that's kind of a SEO no-no. So there's also something called meta tags. So there's three components of a meta tag. There's the meta title, meta keywords, and meta description. And most blogs will give you two options here. You could either let the blog automatically populate the meta tags, so they'll automatically put all that data in, and they'll pull it from your post content. They might have the meta title automatically populate with your blog posts, with the title of your blog post in it. The meta keywords might come from the tags of your blog post. The meta description may come from the first 2 lines or the first 150 characters of your blog post. But if you are able to create custom meta tags, definitely do so. And you want to create them in the format here, where the meta title is your blog post title and then your domain name. The meta keywords, usually about 5 to 10 keywords, don't go any more than that. And these should all be keywords that are most relevant to your blog. And the meta description is your only chance at ad copy in the organic search results. So you want to make this as compelling as possible. The meta description is simply when you type in a word into Google, when you type a keyword into Google, the 1 to 2 sentences of text that show underneath each description, that's pulled from a site's meta description. So you're able to control that. And where do these show up? These will show up in the code of your website. So a lot of different blog plugins will have fields for these right in your blog dashboard, but they'll actually show up in the code of your blog, and search engines can crawl that. So it's important to do keyword research before we start writing, but we need to write before we even think about using keyword phrases in our posts. And the reason for that is because if you're writing a blog post with solely keywords in mind, there's a good chance it's going to come out sounding really spammy. It's going to come out sounding unnatural, like you're just writing that post to include keyword phrases in it. So write your blog post first and then go back and look for opportunities to add those keywords back into the blog post content. That way it helps it sound much more natural. We recommend adding 1 to 2 keyword phrases in per paragraph on your blog. And for one of those keyword phrases in each paragraph, use that keyword phrase as anchor text. So you're going to use that keyword as the word for a link. And that, again, basically just gives search engines a clue into what keywords are most relevant and most valuable to your blog. And the cardinal rule, never sacrifice blog quality for keywords. Search engines ultimately, it's the quality of content on your blog that is going to help you rank well. Keywords are meant to guide search engines, but first you need to be blogging excellently. So the most difficult part of SEO is link building. And link building is building links to basically get search engines to notice your site. So like I said in the beginning, every link to your site is seen as a vote to your site by search engines. But what's important is that these votes, these links, be quality. There's a big difference between 100 so-so links and 100 really high quality links from great websites out there. So some ways to go about getting these links. One of the first is simply connecting with other relevant websites and other relevant blogs. And we call this a public relations style of link building because what we're doing is we're identifying these other relevant bloggers or relevant websites and simply writing an email, giving them a phone call, and saying, hey, I really love your blog. I'd love to connect with you. Maybe if you could mention me on your blog roll or something like that, that would be awesome. I would love to mention you on my blog roll back. If you don't have the time to link to me or to mention me on your blog, I can write a guest post for you to post on your blog. And you want to thank them for their time and the great work they've done on their blog. And so you want to see if they respond. If they don't, you kind of just have to let it go. Never send a blogger or another website repeat emails asking them to link to you. You also, to gain more links to your site, you also want to comment on other blogs, whether those links actually pass value to your blog or not. So you want to contribute thoughtful opinions, not just comments for the sake of a link. And I'm sure if you're reading other blogs, you've seen comments that are just there so that the person leaving the comment could include a link back to their website. You want to actually include, thoughtful commentary in that blog comment. And these comments can not only increase links, but they can also increase traffic back to your blog. So people reading your post and clicking through your link and coming to your blog. You want to also be an active social media contributor. So you want to like other bloggers or other websites, their Facebook pages, follow them on Twitter. You want to comment to them, you want to @reply them, retweet them, show that you're interested in engaging with their blog or with their brand. And make sure you, of course, regularly post interesting content to your own social media presences. And link to your blog post via social media. The more people, the better the social media presence that you have built up, and the more people you connect with through social media, the more likely people are to just link to you within their own blogs or their own websites. But when it comes down to it, the best way to gain links as a blogger is to create brilliant content. So when you're writing a blog post, think, would I link to this? If not, it might not be that interesting. So you want to write on topics that you care about, that are really passionate to you. The more passionate you are about a topic, the more it's going to come through the words on your blog, and the more likely people are to pick up on that passion and be inspired by your post and want to link to your post. Some other ways are to do blog post roundups to highlight other bloggers. If you've ever seen any of the blogs in the mom blog community, you'll see a lot of this, where they do different, like Tuesday blog roundup, and they'll link to a bunch of other blogs that they really find valuable. You could also create a blog post series around a newsworthy topic. So say, if I had that running sneakers blog, maybe I want to do a blog on orthotic running soles or something like that. So I could create a series of blog posts about that topic. You could also create a top 10 list of related bloggers or websites. I think everybody likes getting an award, so you could do, the best running bloggers of 2012 or something like that, and then even include a little badge for the bloggers that you award to put on their own blog. There's a good chance if you do an award post, people will actually link to it from their blog so they could show their own readers recognition. So if you think no one reads your blog, but you don't actually know that, there's a good chance that you're probably wrong. Having a web analytics system, like we talked about in the beginning, Google Analytics, Yahoo Web Analytics, Omniture, things like that, that is crucial to knowing whether people read your blog or not. So my favorite is Google Analytics. It is pretty easy to understand Google Analytics once you get into it. And the awesome thing is that it's free. And if you have WordPress, there is a lot of great Google Analytics plugins that you could just install and very easily put your Google Analytics ID code right in there. Some of the metrics that you want to look at, under traffic sources in Google Analytics, you want to look at direct traffic, and that's simply visitors who type your domain name right into their internet browser to find your website. Referring traffic, that's visitors who accessed your blog, who found your blog, by clicking on a link from another blog. Non-paid traffic, that's traffic from the organic or natural or non-paid search results. That's traffic from those, so from the SEO results. And it also shows you what keywords they typed in to find your blog, which is really interesting. So you've got the tips now, so you basically just have to start working on your SEO, start developing that keyword list, and go from there.